without you. And I got it in my head night and day. But we are one step closer. We're all in this together. Put your hand in mine. Yeah, we are one step closer. Can you feel it, baby? It's the end of the line. It looks like we made it. Let's get it on. We got it going, moving on. Oh, oh. It looks like we made it. Let's get it on. We got it going, staying strong. Oh, oh. It looks like we.
Hello, hello. There are officially, I wanted to say bug heads, not bug heads, bug eggs on. I realize there's no context. They're on my pumpkin leaves all the way up at the top, and I saw two of those bugs kind of connected to each other. Maybe they're mating so that they can produce more eggs. I'm not even going to fight with it this year. I will accept whatever happens. But we're about to go outside. It's 88 degrees right now, but it's going to be 93 today. And it also says that it could rain this evening. We have about a 40% chance. So it's likely that it's not. But before it gets even hotter outside, I'm going to go ahead, get out there and mow a little bit. And I also really want to get to weed eating today. Even though it hasn't really rained a lot this past week, our grass is still growing really fast. I think from all the rain we did have. It's like that during the summer in North Carolina. I feel like we get so much rain in May and June. Of course April, you know, spring, but like summer months, I feel like May and June we get a lot of rain, and then July, August, September, I feel like it's just a desert. And then it gets cold. So anyways, I'm looking forward to the cold weather. I have been looking at the AccuWeather app, and I'll do the 45 days, and now I can scroll all the way until a few dates in September, and it still looks like August and September are going to be full of like 84, 85, 87 degree temperatures. But I think it said Sunday, it's either Saturday or Sunday coming up, that it's going to be 70 degrees. I'm going to love that. We're going to spend all day outside that day. But anyways, let's go ahead and get out there and get some yard work done.
I've been a vagabond drifter. I'm just taking one step at a time. I feel the scars and the blisters. Now I just gotta give up and resign. I am going fast, going nowhere. I keep on falling.
Y'all, you would have guessed it as soon as I've mentioned to y'all that we have not gotten a lot of rain lately, and that these next couple months are kind of dry. We get a storm, and this was so random. It said 40% today, and when I am doing this voiceover, it is, I believe today is Tuesday. Yeah. It said 40%, and just nowhere out of the blue at 12 o'clock, it started a downpour, and it's 12:26 now, and it is starting to go away. But there was lightning, thunder. I thought I was gonna see hail, because if you live in a mobile home, you know the rain itself sounds really loud, but sometimes it hits the windows so hard that it feels like it's hail. But we've only actually gotten hail once, and I think that was, I feel like that was early spring. I remember making a video about it and showing y'all the little, I want to call them rocks. I remember that when I filmed that video, I kept wanting to call them rocks, because they are like these little tiny, they look like little rocks, but they're clear and they just start melting in your hand. But yeah, it stormed, and it says it might storm again at 5 o'clock. I am so happy with it, because the vegetables out there, the plants, I have grape, watermelon, pumpkins, tomatoes, bell peppers, I think that's all the produce that's left out there now, and then everything else is just flowers. So we really needed the rain because I was going to go ahead and do the Miracle Grow packets and put them in my pitcher of water and then just water everything that way just to help give it a boost. But since it's rained, I think they'll do just fine. There's nothing like rain watering your garden. It does so much better than when I water it.
Now you see me here, now you don't know where did I go. Try your very best to find me. Oh, tell me where to start, better play it smart.
This is where my watermelon patch is, where I am moving the mower kind of up into those. I'm just going in between the crawlers, and my plan next year, after seeing how this pumpkin plant has just been growing up the pole in the front yard, my plan is to do the same thing next year with a watermelon. I'll just have to rig something to where they can create an arch above the ground, because we did have one watermelon rot. There's one more out there right now, and if it just doubles in size, I will go ahead and pick it, because they are the small seedless watermelons, so they're not going to get huge anyways. And that's the same thing with the pumpkins that are in the front. Those seeds were actually from a rotted pumpkin, and it was the pie pumpkin size. So those pumpkins should be, if you just put your hands, like touch all your fingers together and kind of make a big circle, that's probably about the size that the pumpkins are going to get when I pick them. And then the watermelon, y'all know the size of the small seedless watermelons. What would you even compare that to? Like a volleyball? Because I feel like a soccer ball is too small. Too big. But I feel like volleyballs are about that same size. So I'm just getting this cut down the best I can, but I can't really go through and weed where the watermelon is, because they are latched onto all that grass over there. So cross some fingers, that way at least get one watermelon out of all that. Now I'm coming around the cars, and I'm going to mow over here, and then later on I'll go through and weed eat the best I can around the cars. But Aaron actually moved his truck, and then I had been taking a break. So off camera, I did go ahead and put the battery back in the mower and go ahead and mow underneath his truck. There's gravel underneath the car, so the grass doesn't really grow up real tall right there, but it does grow up pretty tall where the truck is, because that is pretty much all grass.
Smiling, we're not young, still drunk in love. Oh, I got you, there's no reason to chasing pavement on my own, 'cause you're here to stay every night and day. I'm delighted 'cause I got you. La 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 la. Time is up, nothing to do.
I don't normally mow in between the mulch and the boat. I will mow between the boat and the kayak, because it's just too small for the riding mower to get through there. But the boat, where it's positioned right now, and I just did not feel like lifting a bunch of heavy stuff, because it is sitting on the trailer. There's not enough gap for the lawnmower to get through that area right there. So I was just mowing on the left side of the boat, as well as in between right here. Alright, so I have been mowing this area, and right now The other day I pulled out a bunch of weeds from the mulch underneath my bushes. So that's what this is. It's all dried up because it's been a couple of days. So I'm just going to go through with the rake and get that all to the side that I've already mowed. That way I can mow through here and I'm not putting more wear and tear on the mower. Erin did let me know that we do have a tool to sharpen these blades. So I'm pretty excited about that. Being able to use the mower next time, it will do a much better job because they are definitely getting dull. This is the second year I have used this push mower, and I think I wear it out, y'all. Like, I go fast. I probably run over things that I shouldn't, like big pieces of mulch that have ended up in the yard, some of the weeds that I pull out, and I'm like, oh, just mow over them. So yeah, we're gonna get those sharpened because it does cut the grass, but it gets clumped up easier where you have to clean it out more often. And then it also folds those really long, stringy, they almost look like little pieces of wheat sticking out of your grass. They kind of just fold those over. So we have a few stragglers in the yard. Can y'all hear the thunder in the background? It's pretty much just sprinkling right now where I'm sitting, but to the left of me, I'm looking out at my backyard and I can see it and I can still hear the rumbling. But this area, that area that had dirt where they did our water, had to redo the pipes, it's covered with grass now. So I don't think I'm gonna have to mow that area anymore. I'm going to mention it to Erin and see if he can just take the sitting mower through there, because that will be one less area that I have to mow. This spot right here, I only mowed this because I had stuff out in the yard. So I just went ahead and mowed it. I picked up the stuff before I started filming. I had the water hose out everywhere. And then, okay, so we're weed eating now. And every tool I use for the yard, for the most part, is cobalt. And then y'all have seen me using my little fan, which my fan is in the shed right now. I have that open, and then I just sit there and take breaks in the shade. I probably took like 5 or 6 breaks this day because I was outside from, oh goodness, like 11, or no, I was probably outside from 12 to 5:30, I think. I don't look at my phone as much, and on this day I had it in my pocket and I was listening to music in my little AirPod things. So I wasn't really paying attention to what time it was or anything, because the music just keeps playing, and then every now and then we'll get like commercials and stuff because I do the free version of Spotify. Well, the time definitely got away from me, but I do like being outside. And I told Erin yesterday that I know it's going to get cold, eventually, and I'm not going to be able to be outside every day, all day long, and I'm going to have to sit inside. And then I mentioned possibly getting one of those, I think they're electric, maybe not, but they look like fire pits, but they have the rocks, and I'm curious if it's like a fake flame or if it is a real flame, but you can have them on your porch. So I thought, well, if it was cold and we had something like that where I could just turn it on and it heat up, then I could sit outside. And then I mentioned, or we just need to have a lot of bonfires where the pavers are.
we packing? Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's go, let's be free with me. Be free. Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited.
In the background behind the fake orange pumpkin, y'all can see the actual pumpkin plant, it growing up, and it is taller than me now. It might not have been taller than me that day. I mean, it might be actually. But when I went out there this morning, it was sticking up. Actually, you can't even see the top of it. It goes past the pole now, about like 6 inches or so. So that thing is getting so tall, and man, that thunder, y'all. I wasn't sure if it would even hold up. It is a pretty like heavy duty pole because I had the bird feeder on it, but it is doing such a good job. It's so interesting how their little legs, that's what I call them, how they curl up like those old phones where it was the corded phone and it had the little, the little swirls going all the way down it, and you could kind of do like a slingy, with it. That's what the little legs do for the pumpkin as well. What's interesting is when the legs don't have anything to latch onto, they are as straight as can be. I think they're just trying to get as long as possible. But then once they do have something to grab onto, that's when they coil up. And I just think that's so neat. But I was out there this morning because some of y'all know I smoke cigarettes. That it's no secret. And so I was sitting out there this morning, and I just sit there and stare at that pumpkin plant because I am just fascinated about watching things grow. And you notice a lot of things like the different types of insects and stuff that like to come to it, and the bumblebees. There was actually, I had just saw the butt of it, so I thought, oh my gosh, there's a beetle going in there and it's going to pollinate. But then it came back out and it was a bumblebee. And then it was trying to get into all the other yellow flowers, but they were kind of too closed up, so they couldn't get into them yet. So then they wandered off and tried to find more that they could get into. But when I was out there this morning, there was one pumpkin, and it's about the size of a fig right now. So I think we'll at least get lucky with one, which is what happened last year too. But seeing things grow vertically is new to me because normally, well, I guess tomatoes do, but they're so bushy that they kind of just look like a bush. But seeing things kind of vine, the grape, the pumpkin, and the watermelon is pretty cool. And the pumpkin and the grape look even cooler because they are going vertically. So that's a big reason why next year I want to have at least some sort of like ramp for the watermelon. Like I could still plant them in the ground, but then have the run going up. That way all of that is able to just latch on. So we'll see what happens, because right now they are kind of suffocating out there with all the grass around them. I have one more watermelon plant that just kind of sprung up, and actually that one will be seeded. Because it was from the grocery store of all places. I didn't even know that could happen, but we ate a watermelon and then we just spit all the seeds out in the grass, and one ended up taken off, which who knows, there was a lot of seeds that ended up underneath our porch. So for all I know, there could be some watermelon growing underneath the porch. It probably wouldn't be the first time something like that is grown under here, because like the corn, y'all probably saw me check that earlier when I was weed eating on the right side of my front porch or front steps. I had thrown all of those into the mulch, so who knows, next year I might end up with some like corn trying to sprout up in the front yard. I think that's actually something people do, and they call it chaos gardening, where they just buy a bunch of seed packets and then start sprinkling them out everywhere and then just wait and see what happens. And I feel like with flowers, that sounds like a really fun and cool idea, but with vegetables, you can't necessarily do that. There are plants that will, work together, but then there are plants where, let's say you planted a bell pepper or a really hot pepper next to a cucumber plant. Well, you might end up with really spicy cucumbers. Or if you plant it right next to a tomato, you might end up with somewhat spicy tomatoes. So certain things cross-pollinate, and you don't want that because it might mess up some things in your garden. But flowers, I feel like flowers, I may be speaking and not knowing this, but I think flowers is a good idea. I kind of want to do that one day and just see what happens, because it does seem like a really fun experiment and kind of get you excited because you have no idea what's going to come up from what you threw out. So let me know if any of y'all have ever done the chaos gardening, and how did it turn out for you.
Tell me that you think of me and that you're missing me, baby. You found my heart and set me free. In every fantasy, now I'm ready, 'cause I know it's true. When I look in your eyes of blue, that you want me and I want you to. Yeah, all my dreams are coming true. I just wanna put my heels on tight, dance with you all night, move to my favorite song, go a little crazy to the beat, hear you talk so sweet, my heart just sings along. Baby, I don't want this night to end, no I can't pretend, I can't control myself, I just wanna be with you forever. I can't believe it, no it can't get any better now. Can't get any better now. I just wanna put my heels so tight, dance with you all night, move to my favorite song, go a little crazy to the beat, hear you talk so sweet, my heart just sings along. Baby, I don't want this night to end, no I can't pretend, I can't control myself, I just wanna be with you forever. I can't believe it, no it can't get any better now. I just wanna put my heels on tight, dance with you all night, move to my favorite song, go a little crazy to the beat, hear you talk so sweet, my heart just sings along. Baby, I don't want this night to end.
Ooh, it is scorching out here. I am 75% done with today's project. I'm almost done with the weed eating, and then we're going to go back through and leaf blow. I also have some trash, and like I need to deal with the trash cans over there. The lids flew off of them, and there is so much water in those trash cans, so it stinks really bad. And of course, like they're going to attract mosquitoes and stuff, so I still have that to do. Leaf blowing everything, especially when y'all see what this like patio looks like. I'm gonna start calling it a patio, y'all, because when I say pavers, if you're new here, if you've not seen it, you may be like, what is she talking about? So I'll just say patio, even though it was a DIY and it may not be technically a patio. It's our patio, so that's what matters. And there is 2 pokeweed plants popping up in around my shed, our shed. So I'm going to be pulling those out, and the main root of it is actually really far up underneath the shed, and it literally looks like you could just take one of those handheld saws, like the battery powered ones, and cut it that way, because it is really rooted well into the ground. It's more like a tree because it's gotten so big. But a lot of people locally are familiar with the pokeweed. Let me know if you've ever heard of pokeweed before, if you have that in your area. I know some people actually eat poke salad with the leaves, but I am just really not. I'm too nervous to do that because it says as soon as it starts to bloom, it becomes poisonous, and like you definitely can't eat the berries that bloom. So here's the pokeweed. It has these pretty white flowers. It's a really pretty plant, to be honest, but it isn't good for you. Like, it is kind of toxic. I don't think my cats or anything would try to eat this. Most of the time they just pick at the grass. I feel like animals have instincts when it comes to that, but just as a precaution, on the inside of the house I don't have flowers. Whenever I buy a bouquet of flowers, if I know like iris or lilies, or if y'all say, hey Kimi, that flower is toxic to cats, I just won't buy it again because I don't even want to take that chance. So that's kind of what I'm doing with the weed. After I get done going around here, I'm going to start with that. And I almost fell like flat on the ground backwards, and it shook me up, y'all, but you will see that pretty soon.
I heard laughter, I heard music. I thought, baby, there's no way we could ever lose it. There's no way we could ever break or bruise it. A part of you is always standing in the rain, but I was never your ball and chain. A part of me was always trying to believe you were the only air to breathe. I stood against the wind. You hurt me, I found love again. Even as a friend, everything must end.
Shit. Whew.
Good replace.
So I didn't fall all the way. I did catch myself, but you know when you still catch yourself and and your body physically just prepares that you're about to fall, and I feel like the adrenaline just shoots up. So I was like giggling, but kind of out of like, whoa, I almost fell. And the camera's back there, so that was something that I was also worried about, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go down and I'm probably going to knock my camera over. And those things are not cheap. I'm glad the one I have, it's the Canon G7X Mark III. And y'all, the Mark II is just as good, and I think that one's a lot cheaper. But I'm pretty sure these are like $1,400 now, which is just insane because when I bought this one, and I broke the first one, so we actually had to do it twice. This was $700, which is still kind of a lot. I remember my very first camera was a Nikon DLSR, and I had to also buy the like lens for it, and I'm pretty sure I think that was like $800. So yeah, maybe that is a decent price because I actually like this one a lot more. I don't know if I can zoom in as much as my lens allowed me to on the DLSR I had, but I really like how this camera has a flip screen so I can see what I'm doing. But yeah, I take very good care of this camera, even on the inside of the house. If I'm not using it, I take it off the stand because I'm just so nervous that one of my cats will run through the stand and it will fall over, or one of me or Aaron will bump into it and it will fall over and then just pop off. That's how it broke the first time. I didn't have it secured enough to my stand, and it slung like a slingshot. It just popped right off of there, and I had it open. And something similar happened to Amanda Payne. She was mentioning it the other day on one of her videos. Well, I was watching the video the other day. I don't actually know when it happened, but she got hers to fix. I think she said she threw it or something, just because she couldn't get to fix it. The lens was out, but that happened to mine too. When it fell on the ground, the lens was just kind of not where it was supposed to be, so it couldn't, if you tried to turn it off, you couldn't actually get the lens to fold back in. And it was really like off center and looked crooked, so I kept trying to like not really bash it, but just kind of, I'll make a noise for y'all, like, trying to get it back in there, and it just didn't work. I still have that camera. Maybe I should show y'all what that looks like one day. I could show you in the next video if I remember, which I might not. My memory is horrendous, y'all. My brain goes so fast that I don't remember hardly anything, really. It's not good. But I do think it's okay. So I'm neurodivergent. That's a umbrella term for it. People that have autism, dyslexia, ADHD, I think bipolar disorders in there. There's quite a few different like brain conditions, if you will, that are in there. And they all somewhat relate to each other, but they also have their differences. So that's why I just say neurodivergent, because it gives you, a broader sense of things and not like this specific thing. But our brains are just wired differently. And mine is wired on like, we're going to give this person 700 horsepower in a car that really should only have 300 horsepower. You know what I mean? Like my brain just goes and goes and goes. I wish it wouldn't. I wish it would, slow down a little bit, because whenever I try to take a rest day, like take a day off, it is so, I can't. That I need to be busy. So, I know some of y'all want some of this business, and I wish I could give you some of it. I would put it in little bottles and give it to you, but it's just all in me anyways. So here's where the trash stuff is, and I'm pretty sure we were talking about something else. and then I just started talking about something else. So I apologize. That's how it is over here. Anyways, here are where we keep our trash cans, and this got full of water, and this bag was so heavy because there are dog pads in it, but they're the human version, because I get somebody gives me a bunch of these because they have a lot. That way I don't have to buy actual dog pads at the grocery store anymore, which is really helpful because they're not cheap either. And it soaked every one of those. So I was just picking all that up and rebagging it, and then I wanted to come over here. I've got a bunch of other places that I would like to weed as well, but I'm just coming over here since we have done all the other yard work today, and I'm going to get all of the crabgrass out of this mulch. I did put weed barrier down literally a couple of months ago, and it is still, actually it's probably been 3 months ago. The weeds are coming through it. Well, it's grass. The grass is coming through it. There's not really weeds, but we have crabgrass, so it pretty much tries to grow in anything. I literally have had grass grow through a tree trunk. Yeah. In the corner, it's on the side of our house where the rose bush is. I was weeding around it earlier, and I noticed that there was grass. There was a crack in the tree, in the stump, and there was grass growing in that. Craziness. Anyways, I feel like I could pull weeds for days at our property.
Whenever you need it, you know where I am. As long as you love me, I'm tied to my hands. And never believe me, but baby, it feels so good. You know that I need it, like 1, 2, 3. You got me to feel it. It's good to be me. I'm stuck in your web, the spider that's never.
Alright, y'all, the storm has passed over and this video is complete. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new, and thank y'all so much for leaving thumbs ups on the video. I have definitely noticed it. There is a lot more lately, so I really appreciate you for that. And I will see y'all back here tomorrow for a mobile home reset. We're going to be cleaning the house.